After Ryan Reynolds' latest Deadpool comments, I know which Marvel hero he should team up with next. Ryan Reynolds recently shared his vision for Deadpool's MCU future, and I know exactly what his next step should be after Deadpool and Wolverine's massive box office success. Following the results of Deadpool and Wolverine, it would make sense for Marvel to try to capitalize on Deadpool's popularity. However, his future is still uncertain, especially as Marvel begins to develop its own MCU X-Men movie. Deadpool could return for Deadpool 4 or an ensemble project, but nothing is confirmed yet. In a recent appearance on Variety's Actors on Actors, Reynolds shared his thoughts on the character's cinematic future, stating, "I see Deadpool as a supporting character, much more than he is the main character. We center him sometimes because that's what they want, but you can't center him unless you take everything away from him. You have to create a situation where he is so much the underdog, and I don't think I can do that again. If he comes back, it's gonna be in someone else's movie. Channing Tatum, Gambit. I would happily be a fifth banana in his movie or anyone else's." Reynolds' statement suggests Deadpool's days as a leading man may be over. However, it doesn't seem to be the end of Wade Wilson's journey, and he could well return in a supporting role. This approach could easily be taken in something like an Avengers project or another superhero team-up film, like Deadpool and Wolverine. Reynolds says he could star in a movie alongside Channing Tatum's Gambit, but I believe there is another Marvel hero Deadpool would fit perfectly with. Ryan Reynolds said he wants to team up with Spider-Man. Deadpool and Wolverine is a collaboration that Marvel audiences dreamed of, especially with Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's interpretations of the characters. However, Deadpool teaming up with Spider-Man is another crossover many viewers want to see, and Reynolds has also shown interest in this possible project. In an interview with Marvel Thailand, Reynolds was asked which MCU hero he'd like to join his team, and he responded, "If I could pick one, I'd love to play with Spider-Man. Tom Holland is amazing." After delivering a major win for Marvel, Reynolds likely has significant value at the studio, so any interest in this possible project should not be overlooked. Marvel and Sony are currently developing the Spider-Man 4 movie with Holland, so it appears the studio does plan for Spidey to continue to be an important MCU piece moving forward. While Spider-Man usually works solo outside the Avengers films, a team-up with Deadpool would be a worthwhile pit stop in Peter Parker's character arc. Spider-Man and Deadpool have a comic book history together. Marvel wouldn't have to dig too hard to develop a story idea for Deadpool and Spider-Man. The two characters have crossed paths in comics before, and have several comic book issues where they save the day together. One example is the Spider-Man/Deadpool series, created by Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness, a 50-issue series that lasted from 2016 to 2019. The unlikely duo join forces to defeat old and new villains while learning more about each other. The two differ greatly, especially in their morals and methods of delivering justice. However, they also have many similarities that make them an interesting duo. Both are quippy and sarcastic, and tend to fight independently rather than with a team. As seen in the comics, Spider-Man initially detests Deadpool but grows to understand him better, while Deadpool improves his moral code after following Spider-Man's example. The two learn from one another, and it'd be fascinating to see how Reynolds' Deadpool and Holland's Spider-Man could benefit from teaming up. A Spider-Man and Deadpool movie would create box office gold. Spider-Man is the most profitable hero in the MCU. Two Spider-Man films, Far From Home and No Way Home, grossed over $1 billion, giving the character a total MCU gross of $3.9 billion. While Deadpool's first films were not in the MCU, the total gross of his movies is only second to Spider-Man. With Deadpool and Wolverine's worldwide gross of $1.3 billion, Deadpool's combined box office is $2.8 billion, making him the second most profitable MCU character. If Deadpool and Spider-Man join forces following Deadpool and Wolverine, the total box office would be enormous. Both characters are wildly popular, and audiences would love no doubt to see a film of them trading quips and fighting villains. This team-up project would print money and give Reynolds a perfect opportunity to return as Deadpool with less responsibility. I'm sure Marvel would want this film to happen, and it could be a massive success story for Reynolds and Holland.